on the starting line, the final and funny car eliminator. And this man, 38-year-old Don Prudhomme, has absolutely devastated funny car racing this weekend. From the qualifying times of 5:98 to the new national record of 5:93, he's pitted against the reigning world champion Raymond Beadle, and Prudhomme lengthens his lead and wins it handily. Another 5-second elapsed time, 5.98 seconds. His speed 238 miles an hour, a respectable 6:17 for Beadle, but nowhere close. Prudhomme some $10,000 richer as a result of this win.
Younger than I am, that helps.
And exhausted Don the Snake Prudhomme with a superhuman effort. 5-5-second runs, a feat never before accomplished. It's been a number of years since you've seen the winner's circle here.
It really has. You know, we've just, my crew's worked very hard, and Goodyear really helped us out here. It was the kind of track that without the tires that we had to run it.
No one would have predicted even one 5-second run Thursday or Friday.
I know. Yeah, it's just funny. You know, these cars are so capable of running good, and Raymond Beadle's car is tremendous, you know, and I knew I had my work cut out.
You had to catch up a little bit there.
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, I was a little late at the starting line. I mean, they were really ready for us.
But with the kind of power you've got, you don't want to take a chance red lighting either.
That's right, yeah, and smoking the tires. You know, we were at Bakersfield the other week and smoked tires last round. It just made me sick.
Well, congratulations. You got to be a happy guy right now. Let me shake your hand.
Thank
the Snake is back.
The final pair of funny cars. It's been almost a week here at Gainesville Raceway to lead to this moment for two of the top drivers in the sport. The War Eagle of Mike Hamby. Car owner is the partner and driver, Dale Poldy. He is racing against Gordy Bonham. And this, if tradition holds true, is Gordy Bonham's lucky year. He's made it to the finals, and he seems to always do well at the Gatornationals in odd number years. He won it in 77, he won it again in 1979, and here, under the capable direction of his crew chief, Jerry Verheul, Gordy Bonham is pulling into the staging beams for the final in the odd number year of 1981. Will it hold true? We'll know in just a moment. Dale Poldy is going to try to break that string. Let's see if he can do it. And a great lead by Dale Poldy. Bonham out to the side. This side by side. It's anybody's race, and it's Gordy Bonham pulling it out in the last few feet at over 241 miles an hour. Gordy Bonham wins his third Gatornationals title. As they came off the starting line, it appeared Dale Poldy had almost a car-length advantage. You see, inch by inch, Gordy Bonham making it up, and there by a wheel length is the win to Gordy Bonham over Dale Poldy.
Well, this will make the folks happy in Edmonton and Calgary, Canada. Congratulations. A great race.
Boy, was that a close race. I saw him right to the last light.
A 6:18 to a 6:21. Your top end charge paid off that time, 240 something.
No doubt about it. I mean, we got out there and got over on the side and started shaking like we've been doing all day, and like we told you, it's a little slippery over on the side, and that's when I saw him in front of us, and then we just caught him at the other end.
Okay, top fuel is on the line. Congratulations, Gordy Bonham. This is your third Gatornationals win.
Now we can ride the motorcycle home.
And a great effort, too, on the part of Dale Poldy, who comes in here to congratulate Gordy Bonham. What a race.
Little things can make the difference here, too, as a lot of work has gone on both of these cars to get them ready for this final attack on the quarter mile. Tim Gross in the near lane. That's the right lane. He doesn't particularly like it. Remember, that's where he's had his problems before. Frank Hawley has been dominating that left-hand lane, and the parachute comes out on Tim Gross's car. He loses as the vibration shakes the parachute out of the car, and another blistering 6.07 for Frank Hawley as the Chi-Town Hustler picks up nearly $20,000 and a Gatornationals championship. Steve?
Coming out of the legendary Chi-Town Hustler of Farcona's Coil and Minnick, loved all over the country for its long, powerful burnouts, has now proven to be championship caliber as well. For Frank Hawley, his first ever national title. For the car owners, well, they were in a final once before many years ago, but for them, their first NHRA Oscar as well. Tim Gross comes over, who worked so very, very hard to get his car ready. Tim may have even had a little bit of an edge back at the line, but the powerful Chi-Town did it. Something else, boy.
Thank you very much. It feels pretty good. Those guys all look pretty happy.
I'll bet they are. A little bit of shock here. Can you believe this has happened to you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you drive a car like this, it's bound to happen, right? I'm real happy for Tim, too. I mean, he works real hard. Glad to race him. I wish, of course, you know, we could have advantaged our deal at Pomona. I wish Raymond had been around this long, but we'll get him down the road.
Well, the money went to where it was needed the most in this particular final.
Boy, I'll tell you, and it's about time.
Okay, a happy Frank Hawley, as you can see. Our congratulations to Austin Coyle and Pat Minnick and all the gang from Chicago, Illinois, the Chi-Town Hustler.
That speed's over 180. The full-bodied funny cars, but with 2,500 horsepower of nitro-burning engine in front of the driver, Dale Paldy is facing Mr. Consistency at this event, the Chi-Town Hustler, Frank Hawley, the defending champion at the wheel. Hawley started his march to the World Championship title with a big win here 1 year ago. He has consistently been in the low 590s in every round of elimination. The Chi-Town Hustler last year making its first major effort at national event competition, and it paid off with the world champion title. Dale Paldy, winning back here in 1978, was runner-up in 1981, and he's giving Hawley a run for the money. As they near the finish line, it is Hawley by just over a car length. Frank Hawley wins it. Pat Minnick's daughter, just happy as she can be. Karen, as Frank Hawley at a 592, remains with that consistency. In the replay, you see they are just side by side as they pass our starting line camera position. But at the finish line, approximately a car length and a half separating the two drivers.
The young Canadian Frank Hawley wasting no time coming out from under the Dodge Charger Chi-Town Hustler. Frank Hawley, the world champion. This is 2 in a row, much like Lee Shepard for Hawley. In fact, this was really the glory ground for this car, where it all started, their chase to the World Championship. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Steve. You spun the tires a lot in the middle.
Side by side, 5-second runs. You ran a little bit quicker.
Really? What was it? Do you remember? I mean, I saw the car for a long time. And then after it got overspin the tires in the middle of the track, we just sailed on through like we have for the last few races.
The victories like this are so important from a cash flow standpoint for a car that doesn't have a major product emblazoned on the side and a 6-figure bank account.
Well, that's it. And someday we'll probably have the 6-figure bank account because
you may win it all.
Yeah, well, if we don't do that, this is probably the best deal in auto racing is right here.
Absolutely. And here comes the crew, Austin Coyle, that runs this car. Some say maybe a borderline genius. Congratulations, Austin. Another nice one.
Champion. All eyes on this huge crowd riveted on the starting line as we get set for the final in Funny Car Eliminator. Kenny Bernstein has been the dominant car, but the surprising John Collins from Long Beach, California, qualified number 2 and is now in the finals against Bernstein. Into the staging beams, both cars leave on a green light. And it's a very close race. Kenny Bernstein in the near lane begins to pull away, and a tremendous run. And ladies and gentlemen, 260 miles an hour by a funny car as Kenny Bernstein shatters all performance standards for speed. And crew chief Dale Armstrong receiving the congratulations for Kenny Bernstein's effort as he drove that Ford tempo-bodied car through the entire quarter-mile distance and the timing traps to run over 260 miles an hour.
The first funny car ever tested in a wind tunnel, thanks to Ford, and boy, did it pay off. 260, it sounds like science fiction.
It's getting that way, isn't it? I'm telling you, I don't know where it's going to stop. It's just going to get better.
Let's hope the winning doesn't stop for the Budweiser King and Kenny Bernstein. Here comes a crew that is second to none right now in funny car racing. Still cannot believe what they saw on the scoreboard. 260 miles an hour.
The team that made it happen, Kenny Bernstein and Dale Armstrong. Champion in Pro Stock Eliminator. We've got another defending champion, Kenny Bernstein, in the far lane. Last year was the first funny car over 260 miles an hour at the Gatornationals. He won the event. Now he is in the final. His competition is the man from Dallas, Texas, Raymond Beadle, and the Blue Max, with little John Lombardo doing the driving. The Ford Mustang-bodied car of Lombardo is at a slight performance disadvantage in this run, as in the semifinals, he was some 0.12 of a second slower than Kenny Bernstein. And smoking the tires off the starting line is Lombardo. Bernstein on an easy run
pick up their driver, Kenny Bernstein. There you see the times, 5.70 at over 254 miles an hour. As we watch again, John Lombardo said he had not smoked the tires all day, but he picked the worst time to do it in the finals as the tires losing traction, and almost as if he is on another burnout, John Lombardo has to call it a halt. Well, first Warren Johnson makes it 2 in a row. Now Kenny Bernstein, 2 Gatornationals victories in a row.
Oh, that's super. We're just tickled to death. Steve, needless to say, thank all our fans, Budweiser Motorcraft and Ford, and especially Dale Armstrong and Jeff Scarp and the crew guys.
You know, I know you wanted both ends of the record. You got one in. That's bonus points towards the world title. The engine from down here anyway sounded a little ragged right off of the line, and maybe that's where the speed went.
Well, it may have been. We were afraid to really hop it up too much more from the 64 run because we didn't want to smoke the tires to get the mile per hour back. But our one goal here was to win the Winston World Points right here to go to the championship, so that's what we did.
And a big step towards that right here.
Hey, I appreciate it. You bet.
Fine job by Kenny Bernstein and the entire crew. Steve, it's 2 out of 3 at this point of our defending champions in our professional finals at the Gatornationals. Kenny Bernstein winning his second Gatornationals title in a row. First ever NHRA national event win. Back at the starting line, the luck continues for Ed McCulloch. There is problems with Tom McEwen's car. He is out of competition as they attempted to start the engine. Something went wrong. Taking off his fireproof gloves, Tom McEwen is out of the race. Ed McCulloch will be the winner of Funny Car Eliminator. A single bye run for McCulloch. We have seen earlier he has not had a good performance level. McEwen not at all happy with what he's seeing. It is Ed McCulloch shutting it off and just coasting through to take his second ever Gatornationals title. He won this race way back in 1972. As McEwen heads back to the pit area, it'll be to the victory lane for Ed McCulloch. That elapsed time of 11.25 seconds, the slowest ever to win a funny car title. Willie, congratulations on winning the Gatornationals. We could still make a flight to Vegas. You want to do that tonight? You're hot.
I tell you, Steve, as long as I've been without any luck at all, I think I got all 2 years of it right here today. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I don't know what went wrong in the tune's car. It kind of popped, and that was that.
The guy said it sounded like possibly it hydraulicked it up there at the starting line, you know, and, you know, I don't know what to say. I mean, I was glad to see McEwen go, you know, get this far. He ran real good. He welded Bernstein, you know, you know, that was a big plus for him. We joked about it a little bit. Who's the luckiest today? Well, I'm the luckiest today.
On the starting line, 2 drivers thinking about winning. Don Prudhomme, it's been a long time since 1982 in the winner's circle. For Johnny West, he has never tasted victory at an NHRA national event. A final check of the cars by starter Buster Couch. They're both stayed. It's a good start. Something going wrong for Johnny West. A flash of fire under the fiberglass body, and Don Prudhomme is the winner. An unbelievable turn of events as Prudhomme, with a 5.72 second elapsed time at 260 miles an hour, wins the Gatornationals. In replay, you can see just what happened. As they left the starting line almost simultaneously, it was a flash of fire. Something let go under the fiberglass body in the engine compartment, and Johnny West was forced to park it right next to the concrete guardrail.
Don Prudhomme gets a well-deserved hug from his wife, Lynn. Gets a little more than a hug, actually. And Snake, a brand new race team winning the second time out. Did you ever even believe that was possible?
Well,
Really?
Well, you know, not exactly. I figured we're going to have to struggle a little bit more than we did to get in the winner's circle. We had a couple of good breaks, Steve. You know, Bernstein's car is obviously still the killer car, and we're going to take this car home back to California and run and test and work on it because I'd like to win the championship again.
That would be, what, the 5th time?
Yeah, I think so. But, you know, we were hooked up with Skoll, and that was probably one of the best things ever happened to me and Pontiac.
By the way, in case you don't count, I do. This is the 5th time you've won the Gatornationals, but 4 and 5 had a pretty good separation.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time since a national event, and I just couldn't be happier. I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's a dream come true.
We love having you back.
Thank you.
At the age of 46, Don Prudhomme definitely on the comeback trail.
And Big Daddy, who's not afraid to speak his mind. I'm kind of glad that Mark Oswald at this moment doesn't know that Don Garlich has picked Kenny Bernstein here.
The Candies and Hughes machine of Mark Oswald. inches up to the line now. On the other side, Dale Armstrong watches as Kenny Bernstein manipulates the controls and moves his machine into place. This is the final and funny car. The power comes up. Bernstein focused on that light. Look at Bernstein come out as Mark Oswald goes away almost immediately. Kenny Bernstein goes on to the win with a 5:35, 278 miles an hour.
A very remarkable time for a cold racetrack, because if you'll notice in the instant replay, the cars leave the line almost identically together. Oswald is starting to suffer from a little tire slippage initially, and even Bernstein moves over to the left slightly, showing us that the track was a little on the slick side because of the coldness. The smoke comes up from Oswald, the race is over, and Bernstein is the Gator Nationals champion.
Well, Bernstein's machine sits quiet now at the far end as he walks over to shake hands with Mark Oswald. Kenny Bernstein, the new champion.
I overheard a conversation in Kenny Bernstein's pits before the final round, and Dale Armstrong said, let's not try to set any records. Let's run about a 5:35. 5:35.
Well, that's good. That's just what it wanted to do. It was a handful. It was a little loose all over it down through there. No tire shake this time, but it was moving around.
It was a handful on the 31 run.
Well, Steve, you know as well as I do, when you're running on those records, it's on the edge. You can go one way or the other, but you know, you take the Budweiser Quaker State Buick Mac Tool car, and we're in there, and that's what all counts today.
Well, when they're moving around like that, they're actually turning the tire. Even you don't see any smoke. They're black tracking, as you call it.
That's right. They're turning the tire. In this case, this time, it was not only turning the tire, it was babbling the front end up and off the ground. So that's why it was really a handful. It was just kind of dancing and dicing around over there. But Dale Armstrong and the crew, they did it again.
Congratulations, Gator National Champion.
Hey, it's great. And Mark Oswald and those guys at Motorcraft and Candies do a heck of a job over there.
Well, it's never boring when the red cars get together.
Kenny Bernstein, his first win of the new season. One very happy man.
In the number 6 spot. Our finalists in Funny Car Eliminator, the engine's already running, the burnout's nearly complete at the starting line as Ed McCulloch, without the choice of lanes, has been placed in the near lane of the track where he smoked the tires violently on that bye run in the semifinals. Bruce Larson, the quickest car of elimination, with a 5:31 to his credit in that Century Tack and Gage's Oldsmobile. Larson is already staged. You can see the light bulbs on at the top of the tree. Here comes McCulloch. McCulloch edging forward. He's set. A good start, and McCulloch smokes the tires. Bruce Larson crosses the center line. He is disqualified. His crew cannot believe what has transpired as Bruce Larson crossed the center line. McCulloch's crew just beginning to realize that McCulloch is the Gator Nationals champion. He's still idling down the race course. He crosses the finish line at an elapsed time of 19.70 at a speed of 70 miles an hour. Probably the slowest victory Ed McCulloch has ever had. Let's watch again in replay. McCulloch's car instantly lost traction, and then the problems began for Bruce Larson. His car veered towards the center line. He lifted off the throttle, but it was too late. He could not drive away from that center line, and if that was not enough to add injury to insult, the motor let go near the finish line. Steve?
Well, Dave, already McCullough's crew is down here as he turned off short. And to quote an old friend of yours, 3-time, now retired funny car champion Raymond Beadle, some days I'd rather be lucky than fast.
Anytime I'd rather be lucky than good. But
did you see him cross the line?
Yeah, I did. You know, we gambled. The thing was, you know, if it had hung on, it would have flew, but it didn't do it. It smoked the tires. You know, Bruce and their crew, they ran extremely well all weekend, but the winner's circle's going with the Miller Oldsmobile.
You will take the money and the points.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to let them have it.
Great job.
Thank you.
Ed McCulloch, happy as the champion of the 20th annual Gator Nationals.